Hello, Star Wars CCG players, fans, and folks who were really hankering for some retro action on a Sunday night. Garrett Larson here, Dead Body on Slack, the forums, and everywhere else, joined by Matthew Ford. Is it Matthew or Matt?
Yeah, it's whatever people want to call it. I'm not one of the guys that's particular about it.
Fair enough. I will try and stick with one, but I may mess that up occasionally.
Yeah,
Um,
flip back and forth. It's all good.
well, we'll keep people interesting. So we are here with the top four GEMPC, retro GEMPC action. We've got the full match, Johnny Chu. I mean, if you haven't heard of Johnny Chu, I'm not sure how you got internet under that rock. Like this is it. If you don't know who Johnny Chu is, you have not followed competitive Star Wars CCG at any point in time. Versus Kevin Bing. Kevin pretty much exclusively plays the retro formats. He's Dark Deal 44 on GEMP, and he plays quite a bit. Um,
Yeah, Kevin Bang, definitely a premier player, but actually, he hasn't been playing a lot lately because we've been trying some modified formats and things like that, and he's really he likes the game exactly as it was back in the day. But he's really showing he's still got it, marching through here and defeating some very good players along the way, knocking off Joe Horby, knocking off Ian Monteith. So now he's got another tough opponent in Johnny Chu. So he's got his work cut out for him, but certainly showing his chops this tournament.
for sure, he's definitely been a name in the retro for a while, like Dark Deal 44. He's been playing retro for a long time. I think he lives in Michigan. And this should be interesting because Profit Speeders, which this sort of looks like it could be, tends to have a match into Ralops.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely matches up well against RAL tier operations, especially because a lot of RAL tier operations players aren't going to be utilizing any aliens. So you could pretty much free Han with Blaster anytime you want. And the thing about it is Dark Deal is very much an expert in playing Prophet. So he knows all the tricks. And even against a player like Johnny Chu, he's going to have some tricks up his sleeve that perhaps Johnny won't be ready for.
For sure. And this is when it's fun to get into really streaming and watching events is like this is the top four. The winner of this faces Timo for the chance to have the win the winners bracket
That's
and
right.
then face the winner of the losers bracket that Ian, who you just mentioned, knocked me out of earlier today in a pretty quick pretty quick match that just was like, well, I lost bad. I'm gonna lose bad, and I don't want to play the second one down 30. So we're done. That was
I almost felt that way. I got knocked out of the winners bracket by Jeremy Christoffel, and I got slaughtered in the first game so bad that I almost didn't want to play the second game. And then I played the second game, and it came down to a spot where if I had one more life force, I could have drained him out. But unfortunately, I couldn't get that life force back into my deck, and he got me. You never know what's going to happen, but it can be demoralizing.
so. This is an interesting line Johnny took with dropping the Emperor's shuttle at Kurita. I think he's expecting Kevin not to have space or to have a very limited space package that's like maybe one of the leaders, red or gold leader, and a landing claw, which won't do anything to the shuttle. I'm a little surprised he didn't put a guy at the executor docking bay, but he may not have had the guy he wanted to put there. ROPS
Yeah,
occasionally can just, you might not draw your cheap guys. And then it's a, how do I get what I need to get going?
yeah, but I mean, I do like the early Emperor shuttle because, as you mentioned, Prophet notoriously is light on starship packages. So even if Dark Deal 44 had a spaceship in hand, he's really not going to do much overflow. The shuttle forfeits for 5.
Yeah.
So, I really love the aggressive play by Johnny Chu there. And this little one damage at Karita all game is going to add up over time and is going to be impactful.
Ooh.
And without battle order on the table, I think it's great to get it out early.
Oh, for sure. I think it's a perfectly reasonable play. Like I said, it's more did he not draw what he needed to go get the extra activation at the docking bay? Or did he
I think
decide because like I always kind of wonder if that one damage is worth it early against profit because you're just going to get it back. Like,
Well, I think that's what he's wanting to do is he wants to force Dark Deal to get Han out as quick as possible, and
yeah.
then you can actually launch an attack against Han, hopefully before he's ready to be well protected.
So, and we see Spaceport Street coming down from Johnny, which is going to give him the free move between any related spaceport sites. And I expect we'll see a rest order for Spaceport Docking Bay unless he activated it.
Makes a lot of sense, and conceivably he could even flip here. Although with
Eight
Tempest
force
Scout
would have
1
been,
coming down, doubtful.
yeah, eight force would be a little bit tight because you're just not getting. It leaves you open for Kevin to come at you with anything on the ground. Like if he's running speeders, like eight force, you're tight on being able to then move everyone together and consolidate.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
you run a risk. So Johnny just dropped an empty walker there and is picking some up. So he's
Short on characters for
looking
sure.
for something and just not finding it. But also, I think said, well, like don't because Grimtash and Monarch are absolutely a thing in this format, and you're going to be running into them. You don't want to draw more than 12. So being able to just drop the Scout Walker there empty, it can't be battled. It doesn't do anything, but it gets it out of your hand. You were going to deploy it anyways. That's a smart play. And there we see Johnny playing tactical support, losing a starship after Kevin went and got Luke's lightsaber with Gift of the Mentor.
Yeah, I'm surprised he chucked Boba Fett and Slave One. Now, maybe he has more ships in his hand, but of course, by leaving the Emperor's shuttle here, your response is always supposed to be if you take it out, you have to worry about the counter beatdown. And by getting rid of Boba Fett and Slave One, of course, your options are a little less. But if you have Zuckuss, if you have some dreadnoughts in hand, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah,
So
Zuckuss
interesting choice
boss,
there, though.
or even as simple as I have a barrier.
Yep,
If you come
or
at
barrier.
me,
Yeah,
like I'll be honest, I don't think Kevin's going to go near space. I think he's going to let that Drano one happen and just ignore it because
wholeheartedly agree, and that's why I
nothing
love the
good
play by
comes out
John.
of it. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's a perfect play by Johnny, but it's a nothing good comes out of going at him. And Kevin's
especially
drawing.
especially
Ooh,
because he doesn't have a capital ship down. Like you can't protect your ship; it's not going to land and claw anywhere. So once it's there, it's not coming out of space until it gets beat down.
yeah. So and Kevin drew up to 14 cards, which is a little gutsy. And obviously he lost one from hand to the drain. But like if you're looking for a specific card, if Johnny's got a Monarch, he's gonna hit you with it. Now Johnny's got to
Yeah.
decide what he wants to. There's the prefix office from hand.
I love a flip this turn from Johnny because with Tempest Scout in the middle, it can react for free. So you don't have to consolidate. You could
Yep.
just keep one character at each site. Dark Deal does have 6 activated. He'll activate 12 more. So with 18 force, he can get 2 EPP characters down conceivably. So you got to keep that in mind.
Well, and
But
it'll probably just be one plus Luke because he's got the Luke. He went and got Luke's lightsaber.
yeah,
So Palpatine there, I like. I believe that's the yep. All your characters are power and forfeit plus one because you've got a leader there. Imperials at sim
yep.
and related sites are power and forfeit plus one. So that gives him some background there. And Palpatine's hard to take out in this format. Like,
Oh, he's extremely strong there, and he's drawing Destiny +3 basically.
yep,
So he's really like power 7, forfeits for 9. And if you were ever in a situation where you even got fearful about it, Tempest Scout 1 can react to come support
yeah,
him.
Like,
So he's pretty much unremovable from there.
and that extra forfeit is going to add up as well because, like, now you've got Corporal Dresselin who forfeits for 6 in Tempest
Yep.
Scout 1. So, like, what are you going to do against that? And there we see Kevin with visored vision and named Trample. And he's revealing the used pile. The hold makes me think there was no tramples. Okay. So visor vision
It's
just went to used.
a very peculiar choice. Of course, it does get him back down to 12. But with Mr. Yellow not having monarched him already, you'd think it wouldn't be that much of a risk. And
Oh, I think he was going to play it lost if he found tramples because
well,
trample
for
is
yeah, oh yeah,
absolutely like I actually don't mind that play. You have the used pile, take the shot at it because
shot in the dark.
if he's got tramples, you want to get rid of them because those are going to make your life very difficult to do
Yeah,
anything with.
ideally, if he could get a walker down to Jabba's palace prior to Han being freed, then anytime you want to get Han onto a speeder, you run the risk of getting him trampled in the process.
Yep. And there's the Master Luke. So Kevin, Darkdale 44, decided he's going to free Han, start the damage train,
Yep.
and he
Yeah, he'll.
may. I'm wondering, is he going to free Han now and then walk him over?
No, he's almost certainly going to wait until the control phase of Darkseid, lose 2 more to force strains, and then retrieve the full 5 instead of retrieving 3.
And I understand the thought process, and I think part of it is, in theory, you want to get them to the docking bay so you can docking bay transit them. I think Johnny's intentionally not putting out the spaceport docking bay to
Oh,
make it
100%.
harder for Kevin to get there. And we see
Absolutely.
Kevin tunnel vision, which will add another card in his lost pile, which honestly, unless that was what he had to draw into, you could have done that. I think he must have had to draw into it. And then again, like now he's going to have more than 5 cards in lost. I wouldn't have hated freeing Han and moving him over, but trying to
Well,
maximize getting that
I
5
think
back
you
is
want
not terrible.
I think you want Han with Ben Kenobi.
You do. That's what I'm saying is you free Han and then you walk Ben and Han over and you have that one site loaded. But if you're not going to be able to document transit over, there's not a big loss. And there's another, it could be worse for one. And Johnny started there is no try instead of oppressive enforcement, which makes me think he may not have a ton of grabbers. And that could end up hurting him. Glancing blow. Oh, I like that card.
Yeah,
You have a
that's a nice
character with a
card.
lightsaber present with and a battle with Vader, reduces power to 0. And the Lost in the Wilderness on Palpatine gets
Very nice.
Palpatine. That'll slow
Deadly
him
card
down
in this
for a
format.
turn. In this case, where Johnny's got a bunch of biker scouts, likely won't be that hard for him to find Palpatine. But
It won't, but it forces
he
him to
just got that
dedicate more
retrieved as well.
cards,
And he was
right?
just
So
able to
like,
retrieve that. That's big.
yeah, and he gets it back. And if you think about it, like the more cards that he dedicates to Raltier, just like you said, if there's no spaceport docking bay, just as his cards can't go to Raltier, any cards that go to Raltier then can't come to Tatooine and fight the rebels there. So Lost in the Wilderness doing more than just stopping that drain and slowing them down for a turn. I think, really you're getting a 2 or 3 card commitment from Darkseid to go find Palpatine, and that's good.
Although Johnny still can decide when he wants to put down that spaceport docking bay. Like if he decides, hey, I'm going to go to Tatooine, now I'm going to abandon Tatooine, he can just drop the spaceport docking bay and move
He
his
can.
guys away. So he's
He
not.
can. But once that door's open, that door is never closing.
But I've played a lot of Rel Ops and a lot in this scenario. I'll be honest, if you want to slowly walk your guys over to Raltier, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like Ben Kenobi doesn't actually scare me that much if you're waiting till he gets to Raltier, because you give me all the time in the world to set up
Yeah, you get to
and
prepare.
either fight you or just say, fine, you can have that site. I'll just dance around you and ignore that site where you're going to end up hitting me for 2 damage. One ping from
Yeah, and
profit and a drain of one. Like it's just,
yeah, and let's also keep in mind Dark Deal can do the same thing. Dark Deal can also at any point pull the spaceport docking bay with Insurrection, deploy it to Raltier, and he may be saving his spaceport docking bay for an opportune moment as well.
and it looks like Johnny's decided this is the opportune moment as he pulls the spaceport docking bay.
Hmm.
So, and that might have also just been a he couldn't take it last turn. Let's go with it and get some activation bump. As I
Yep,
expect, honestly, I expect he'll probably throw 2 guys out. One at the docking bay, one at the prefix office, probably a biker scout at each.
I
So
think you'll
then
see
next turn
two
he
at the
can try and
prefix office.
find. Maybe it depends on what he's got in his hand. It's just,
Well, you need a 6 to find Palpatine, and the
and it's
biker scouts
plus
are
two
plus
for each
one.
scout. Biker
Is it
scouts
plus
are
two? I
plus
thought it
two.
was plus one.
Each character is plus one. If they're a scout, they're plus two.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yes,
So
yes.
you need
Okay,
a
yeah,
four. If you put
yeah.
a biker scout there, you just need a four. And
Right.
that's
But
actually
Ralops
pretty
doesn't have
doable.
a lot of those.
There's more good Destiny in there than you'd think, especially when you can start paying two to pull first. So
You
I
get to
don't,
pay, yeah, remove your bad ones, but it doesn't look like anybody's coming to the prefix office.
not for the moment. And honestly, like, I don't know that he needs it. So Janice at the docking bay is totally fine. There's the dodge to move Luke away. And I think you move Luke to the docking bay.
Oh, absolutely. Get the extra
Yep.
ping from or be
Yeah.
destroyed and threaten a drain of one there.
So John's got a.
But Johnny's got a nice spread here. I mean, he's going to be dealing 1, 2, 3, at least 3 damage next turn, if not more. Well, Colonel David John's going to fight, so he won't be doing more than 3 in drains next turn. But
Unless Kevin moves Luke away. Like that Colonel David John play, I don't hate because it kind of says have something to deal with him or you're going to lose Luke because I'm adding 4 to that Battle Destiny as he moved Tempest Scout 1 over to Palpatine's location. So next turn he can try and find Palpatine. And Johnny loses 3,720 to 1 off the top to the your insight drain and then a search and destroy from hand. So those
makes a
are
lot of sense.
the search and destroy is super easy. The 3720 to 1. I think he was perfectly
It's
happy to
canceled.
see that go off the top because insight cancels it.
Yep.
So, and Kevin
Yeah, and
puts
you're
his
never removing all
own.
the light side characters.
I'm a little surprised Kevin put the spaceport docking bay at Tatooine. I would not have minded at all seeing that go to Raltier and overwrite Johnny's just to make a decent number of Johnny's characters deploy +1 there.
Yeah, and with Ralops troopers, you will see a less number of pilot type characters, but because he has the walkers, he, like you said, he will have some characters that are pilots that will be extra deploy there.
And there we see Luke move back to the spaceport docking bay. VHD, Prophet certainly is going to pack Fallen Portals, but if you're Johnny, you're not crushed if he just portals Colonel David John. You're just like, okay, fine, I lost Colonel David John and I've got a portal accounted for. This is not a big deal. And Dark Deal, Kevin draws up to 16 to find a tunnel vision to tunnel vision. So he is looking for something. I'm just not sure what it is. Like, I'm not sure what he's looking for that turns this match because if this isn't the speeders variant, I think Johnny's in a real good spot.
Well,
Like
it's
this,
definitely not the
it's
speeder variant. We would have
yeah,
seen speeders by now, so we
eh,
can be very confident that it's the standard dodge, evade battle style of Prophet. So I think if you look, what does Profit need to be successful? They need all their mains on the table. So going to
Yeah.
find a Leia, going to find a Lando or a Chewie to increase that ping damage, I think would be the top choices of tunnel vision.
Yep.
Also, a run Luke run to create some trouble, possibly.
Yeah. And I think Johnny's absolutely sitting on a barrier and or Gick just to avoid any of that. But yeah, you're right. Kevin's got to find his mains to try and increase that damage, but he's eating the damage from Johnny and he's not really contesting Johnny's damage where Johnny can go and contest his. And that's going to make it more difficult. And we see the
100%.
Drina one. So,
Star Wars is interesting though because while Johnny's dealing out all this damage, what Kevin's doing well is he is not putting cards on the table. He's got, 4 cards plus 5, 6 locations, so 10 total cards down. Whereas Johnny has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
and there we see the Johnny misses the search party destiny as he drew a Captain Sarkley.
I love that Johnny's using Captain Sarkley, considering he just played operatives in the Endor event.
Yeah, I mean
Knowing the use.
that's operatives can be real oppressive still if you don't have the counter cards.
They absolutely are.
So, and we're just seeing some chat. Bill is saying that he doesn't think Kevin is running on the edge, which I think is definitely going to make things a little harder for him. I think getting some retrieval would be getting extra retrieval like that would really swing this because I think he's going to struggle to get through this. I think Johnny's got too much he's been able to get through that this is going to be a struggle. Yeah, another projection would be another solid option just to slow down Johnny's damage. So, and I wouldn't actually hate a ship at Raltier with a Imperial on it just to increase that total battle destiny one more.
Yeah, I
So,
like that play as well.
like, that's never a bad thing. And I think Johnny right now is just sort of figuring out what's the line he wants to take. He's got 15 force and 8 cards in hand. Like, this is still super early, but Johnny's got 28 cards down to Kevin's 22. But Kevin's got 7 more cards in hand. So they're functionally tied on total life force. I think Kevin's got 1 more total card when you count the cards in hand.
Yeah, I
So,
don't see a way Lightside wins this unless they start getting Chewie and Leia down, possibly even Lando to deal some more ping damage.
and not just getting them down, but keeping them alive.
I think they
Because
will. I
I
think they
think he
will.
can, but I think it's going to be tough. And there we see Colonel David John just saying, heck, I don't need to be on Tatooine. I'll go to Hoth and start draining there, which is also very strong because if Kevin goes to contest that, it's a non-battleground.
It's a non-battleground. He can't drain there himself. And what I really liked about Johnny's turn was he didn't deploy anything. He didn't waste any
And
cards. He
there's
he
the Monarch.
realized that he's got a good board state and just went and hung out. So this is going to
Ooh,
deal 3 damage to Lightside.
yeah, I don't like sensing that at all. Like I'm sure the cards in your hand are important, but losing 3 feels
Losing
rough.
3 hurts, but I think, we just talked about how Dark Deal went into his force pile digging for something, and you spent all that time. You don't want it cycling to the bottom of your reserve deck.
Yeah.
And when it comes to knowing what Profit needs to win, I will always defer to Dark Deal 44 on that because he's just played so much of it. So I think
Yep.
he's got a very specific plan in mind and he needs the cards in his hand and he was not willing to risk losing what he had.
Yep. And I think you're probably right. Yep. VHD, this is game 1. I think you're right that he knew he needed something, and it was this is what I have to have. I just hate in a game that's going to be very close, peeling 3 to get it. And Johnny loses Executor from hand, and you can't hide forever. So Kevin
Fairly
has
meaningless cards.
19 force to work with, but he's only got 1 in reserve. So he's probably not going to start a fight on Raltier. The Mara Jade's a little unfortunate. I think Johnny would have liked to have that one in there. And we see the reserve deck search just so Kevin can see what that card is.
Oh, it's the 5 because it was the Gift of the Mentor that was drawn for Sense Destiny.
Yep, yeah, it should be. Or no, because he lost that, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did lose the.
I was gonna say
Wow,
he
he
lost
opted
that
to
because
lose that. That's surprising.
he lost a push from hand, excuse me, or from force pile, and then he lost that gift to the mentor. He might figure he doesn't need it. Like he's probably not battling. He's got 1 saber out. He either has the other in hand or he knows where it is. So
SC5s are nice though.
yeah, well, 5s are always good. And there's Leia with gun in front of Trooper Davin. And order to engage, which is going to get real obnoxious, but Johnny absolutely has a point man in there. And there's the Gimmer stick on Leia, so Johnny can't start a battle unless he's got a character of ability greater than 3 there. And there's Hark
Oh, there it is.
Seth to
I was about to ask, why did
start
he go to the
minimizing.
site with projection of a Skywalker? But it was the whole point was Hark Seth was coming down with Leia, and that's going to turn off all of the drains on Raltier.
Until
And
Hark Seth gets stomped on by a walker.
he can get stomped on by a walker. Yep,
That would be
yep.
my that would be the
But I mean,
first thing I'd do. But honestly, if Johnny can track a 5, you stomp Leia and then
and
just
then beat down Hark Seth.
murder Hark. Like that's
Yeah.
the line, and that might be exactly what Johnny just said. Okay, well, I'm putting 1 back with Janice, so I know what I've got because then he can activate down to just having 2 cards in reserve.
And he can then Janice again
Yep.
To get that back. Now, the other thing though about that plan is then you're using that bottom card as your destiny for the trample. So
Yep.
you'd like to be able to draw destiny following that. But that being said, you don't need a destiny to overflow Hark by himself.
And what you can do is also like there's ways to play around that because he can Janice plus use the objective to go get something. So he's got ways, and he's leaving 3. So he activated 16 instead of 17. So he's got he wants to probably either Janice or use the objective to pull a card. And this turn's going to be
Janice
really important.
First. If he
Yep.
Janice's first, then uses the objective, he could go back to exactly the card he put back with Janice.
Yep. So when we see the drain, so he's going to force Kevin to use the force, which is fine. That makes sense. And I honestly, my guess is that Hark Seth, that combo was in his hand, and he just couldn't risk losing it to the Monarch.
100%.
And he lost 3 to the Monarch, but he's already saved 2 on drains. So it's a good play. And some of this, I've talked about this before, and I've joked about it that like I have to sit here and say I don't like that play and talk about things because otherwise we're just sitting silently being like, well, I'm sure he had a good reason for it. Like I need to, So, and Hark. So Hark only works once. He can't shut them both down.
No, he could do both.
He could lose force from a force drain. Yeah, because it's not. He just chose not to do the second one. So say Hark isn't. Hark says lose force from a force drain, so I'm wondering if he's 1 ruled, but he might not be. So he doesn't say control phase.
Yeah, no, I'm like 99% sure I've used Hark to cancel 2 drains in 1 turn.
He might have just not wanted to use that extra force, so he's saving a pile of force for something.
Well, so we know that one of the cards is it's a trap. it's a trap, costs 3 force, and
Yeah.
additionally, if first strike comes down, it'll cost 4 force. So
Yeah.
he's looking at a minimum to save 4 force for that.
And there we see
And
Palpatine get found, which actually I think is also important for this.
well,
And
he might have overseeing it personally, which is going to add to his drain, which should be
yep,
very clutch right now.
I would expect an overseen, and I would expect some way to start a battle versus
He's
order
still
to
got
engage.
Vader. Still
He's
got
got
Vader.
Vader. He could also just, well, Point Man could just cancel the order to engage. And then, so Bursk is just, it's, yeah, he's nothing. He's just a leader. So he's a leader and he's a trooper for a trooper assault.
But Johnny deployed him there. And so what's Johnny's plan? Because Johnny Chu is not the type of player to randomly deploy cards from his hands. This guy's got a specific purpose. He now draws Battle Destiny there. I wonder if,
He's got to have an answer for the Gimmer stick.
yeah, you can't alter it because then you
So,
can't draw Battle Destiny.
yeah.
And it's unlikely he wants to do that anyway, given there is no tryout and wise advice. So
Yeah.
that's a bad
His own
combo
There
for
Is No
Alter.
Try says he's not playing Alter. So,
Sometimes you got to do an emergency alter. Sometimes you got to have that emergency. The cards
but
like
then
Order
you
to
play
Engage is a
Oppressive
great
Enforcement
example.
instead. So, like if you're packing Alter, you put that in. So there's first strike. So he's definitely planning on battling,
Yep.
which means he needs to have. Yeah, it's got to be Vader. I don't
Mara was
think.
already lost.
Yeah, and Mara, Vader, Palpatine, and Janice are
Simalu.
basically the only four. Yeah, Simalu would be. I mean, he could have Jabba or something like that. There's ability, ability, ability. I like that
1,
play.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he didn't need Burst for ability, ability, ability.
No, I think Bursk is he's expecting this battle to potentially go through, and he wanted that extra power and forfeit because that way, if he drops Vader
But there's no battle. There's
and the
no
battle
battle.
goes through, yeah,
No
he
battle. We're
went
in
to
battle
battle.
phase now.
Ooh,
So I'm very confused as to what
it.
Bursk's job was.
I think just was to stop. I think he's going to end up moving Janice with Palpy. I think he's going to swap Janice and Tempest Scout 1 because then he'll have a drain of 1 at the Palpy and Janice site. And that was to stop not risk overflow on a battle and not have to react over with Tempest Scout 1 so you can keep that extra 1 on your total battle destiny. If Kevin decides to start one, which I don't think he will. So Johnny loses Vader's shuttle, tactical support, and Zuckuss and Mist Hunter to that order to engage. I'm confused about the putting out first strike as well. Like, you don't put out first strike unless you're planning to start a battle because there's no reason to give unless he's trying to bait Kevin into battling to retrieve 1. And Kevin's too smart for that. Life force counts right now, Logan. Johnny has 16 down to Kevin's 17. Johnny has 10 cards in hand to Kevin's 9, which means they both have exactly 26 cards. So it's close.
It's extremely close, and Lightside's about to do 4 more damage here. And
okay, so he moves Janice over instead.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Dark Deal's not going to start a battle here. Dark Deal's going to move in front of Sergeant Ellis at the forest and go for the same exact play next turn. It does turn off Hark Seth a little bit, but Hark Seth wasn't, he was canceling 2, now he's canceling 1. So,
I mean, he's blocking 1 and then canceling none because it's same and adjacent sites, so he's no longer going to be adjacent.
But end result is instead of 2 drains being blocked, 1 is.
Yeah, and I'm confused by Johnny's play, and I'm wondering if maybe that last card in reserve was not what he thought it was, or it what he,
Hoped it was.
yeah, like it might have been a low enough destiny that even adding 4 wasn't going to clear it,
Yeah.
and so he had to rethink it. Like if he had something like a 1 in that Palpatine, and he's like, all right, well, I'll do my draw, and he draws the Palpatine and goes, ooh, this is not what I need. And we see Boskin Houndstooth's tactical support and Imperial Decree going away. Losing Decree feels a little surprising.
Well,
Be
Johnny needs to be careful too because he's down to, after this projected telepathy gets cycled in, just 12 life force, which means a couple things. One, it means that he can't deploy a ton and then battle. And two, he can't search effectively with his objective because
Yep.
you have to leave cards in reserve to search. It costs 2, and by the time you add that all up, there's not much left to do with the turn. So
I'm actually very surprised that Johnny lost that Decree, because Decree plus any random ship at Raltier turns Kevin's drains to 0.
it does. It
Like
does.
it
But
would have
Kevin's
been.
plan is not to drain. Kevin's plan is to
I mean,
ping.
Kevin is draining with Luke Saber, so you're putting that
But
down
it's
would
only
stop
one.
2 turns. Yeah, so it's say Decree plus 1 ship saves you 2 turns.
Yeah,
It, it
it takes 2 turns to benefit, right?
it pays you off on 2 turns. It gives you another card for ability. Like it isn't super impactful in that sense, but it's still good. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what Johnny's plan is for dealing with Hark and Leia and why he didn't do it last turn. Because I think you
I'm
got to move
concerned that
Hark
there
and
is a
Leia in
plan.
front of Elsk.
I'm concerned there's no plan, and I'm concerned that perhaps he isn't playing point man, and or it's at the bottom of the force pile where it's very inaccessible.
Yeah, that's. But I'd be shocked if he's not playing point man again. I'm also shocked he didn't have a Vader, unless that was just he didn't have it and had to draw for it. And there we see Chewie with Blaster from Kevin, just to increase that direct damage.
And satisfy ability.
Yep.
So, I mean, I really like Kevin's position right now. I think that you move Leia over, you move Hark Seth over. Dark Side will only be draining for 3. Meanwhile, you're threatening the order to engage every turn, and you've got a 4 ping lined up yourself. That's potentially 7 damage a
Oh,
turn,
I don't
even if the drains gets turned off.
I don't like moving Chewie there.
Yeah, he's easy to trample. Yeah, I agree.
Well, and I think it means he's planning to move Leia and Hark to the docking bay, and I don't like putting Hark in front of a walker. Like I don't like Chewie or Hark in front of the walker, but I definitely don't love that. Oh, all right. So he split them up.
What I don't understand is I would think that you'd want Leia at the docking bay, who's harder to trample, and you'd want Harksef and Chewie at the forest, where Chewie's able to shoot somebody with his blaster.
Yeah, I'm
I kind of
confused
expected them flip
because
flopped.
right now Johnny can just go, I'm going to put a guy in the walker and wipe that site, because you can't shoot, you can't portal, and one guy's going to draw Battle Destiny. It's +4, so you need to draw a 3 to wipe this, or a 2 to wipe the site, because Chewie forfeits for 5 and Hark forfeits for 3.
You know,
So
VHD asking in chat if Kevin has a sense and Point Man gets played, does he sense it or save the sense for trample? I think that you sense the Point Man immediately.
yeah, I think you have to take the shot that Johnny maybe doesn't have trample in the deck, and you stop the point man, because point man order to engage will win him this game, where trample, if Johnny has it, probably wins him the game if Kevin doesn't have a Hoojix, but it's not a guarantee. So we see the drain of 1, and Kevin loses dodge off his reserve deck. Johnny should have one more drain coming here with Colonel David John.
No, he already that was the drain with Colonel David
Okay,
John.
yeah, you're right. He lost Karita first. So, okay, so now Johnny's he's got 9 force active, and he's using Janice. I'm not sure what. Oh, you're right. Chewie does forfeit for 7 with insurrection. I forget he's a rebel. So that makes it a little
look,
harder to clear. But honestly, if you have trample, you're trampling Chewie either way.
The fact of the matter is there's not going to be a battle at the spaceport docking bay that clears it. If you get into a situation where you think that they're going to clear those 2 characters out, they're playing It's a Trap. Yeah. So that's why Dark Deal has so much force saved, is he wants to be able to play It's a Trap, and he has one other trick, perhaps a dodge, perhaps a Hujix or something like that, just in case type cards. Yeah. Yeah, but no, Chewie and Hark are not getting taken out in one shot. You might see a trample getting one of them, but I do not see a battle that removes both of those characters happening.
Yeah, and if it's trample, you're trampling Chewie just to shut off the profit damage.
Yep.
All right, so there's blast door controls. So Johnny is going to deploy somebody, I think. And battle.
Vader, right? No, Arnett.
Arnett. Okay, so
not going to help.
Adds 1 to the attrition.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's a trap. Yeah.
No, Johnny, I think you're right.
You know better.
Does Johnny have the It's a Trap canceller? Is there even one in this? Like, there is a card that cancels It's a Trap, but I don't know if it's in this format.
It's not. It came out, and I want to say like Tatooine. It's
yeah.
It's they're still coming through? No, Inconsequential Barriers, I think it's called.
So there we see the battle here. VHD
he gets a retrieval though.
Fallen Portal does nothing because neither of the guys in the walker are present. That's why I was saying Fallen Portal is immaterial. So, and I think, yeah, you'll see the pay 3 or pay 4 to cancel the battle. Not being able to battle into Leia is unfortunate. If you don't have the point man,
yeah, I mean,
just burning 3 again.
Yeah, he's taken so much. He's taken so much damage from ping. If Chewie survives this, it's 3 from order to engage, 4 more from the ping, and another from Luke's drain is going to be 8 cards out of the remaining 20 that Johnny's got left.
Yeah, that's
21, I should
say. That's going to add up
the
quick.
Retrieval.
So, and there is the It's a Trap. Kevin was just.
I don't know what took him so long to play it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So.
We all knew you had it, Kevin.
Yeah, it's. And there, the order to engage pings for 3. That's.
Yeah.
That's going to be rough. That not being able to find his point man is just killer here. So, and Johnny's got to decide what 3 to lose. Like, this is Kevin has built this very well to handle the Rolops matchup that was likely going to be pretty commonplace. And like, if he wins and advances, I know Timo's playing Rolops on this side as well.
And that's the thing, is that, it's the old adage, like, I don't fear the man who's practiced 1,000 different punches. I fear the man who's practiced a single punch 1,000 times or whatever. Yeah. And again, Kevin is a profit player through and through. He knows how to win against Rolops because he's played it so many times. And Rolops doesn't get as many reps against Prophet as Prophet gets against Rolops.
Yeah. All right, so we see Johnny does some moving of stuff, and like, normally you'd worry about leaving Elsk there. Okay, so he moves Elsk, removes Janice in with Elsk, basically saying next turn I get to battle Leia.
I mean, you get to battle Leia, but I don't know how successful you're going to be.
Well, it stops the order to engage.
It doesn't, because he's going to dodge and then dodge to the next site where it pings
Yeah,
you again. It's brutal. It's
he's
brutal.
if
Like, you
he's
have
got
to
all the
remove that card.
dodges. Yeah, if
It's
he still
just,
has the dodges, he's lost at least one from hand. So
I think he's used one too.
yeah, he used
But I
one
think he
with Luke,
retrieved
but
it
then
then.
I think he got it back.
Yeah, he retrieved it. But
Um,
yeah, I just really like Lightside's position in this matchup. And I think we'll see Lando this turn. And it's really going to put the pressure on.
and honestly, I could see Lando just backing up, not even backing up Leia, just drop Lando at the
One
spaceport
of the
docking
docking
bay.
bays. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
spaceport or
Yeah.
Tatooine, and back
Yeah.
up with Cordell and
Yep.
everything else.
And run Luke, run threatened.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
you're perfectly happy with that.
Yeah. I mean,
So
barring Johnny finding the point man, I just, Dark Deals just got his hooks in, and he's won many games from this position. I'll say that.
yeah, no, he's in a super strong position here that Johnny just doesn't really. Without the point man, Johnny doesn't have an answer right now, and
Yeah.
he's lost 6 cards to order to engage already in a match that, without the order to engage, I think Johnny's advantaged here, but it's going to
Mhm.
be close. Like
And it
it,
all goes back to that sense on the Monarch, right?
yep,
If Johnny got the Monarch through, maybe Order to Engage gets cycled back in. Maybe Gimmer Stick gets cycled. Either of those cards get cycled in, you're in good shape.
yep,
If Leia gets cycled in because you need a character of ability greater than 3. So, um, you
yeah.
know,
No,
yeah,
there's a
he's
lot there that definitely, that the sense ended up being super impactful for Kevin, and he played it appropriately, and that was exactly what you said. I spent a lot of time and effort putting these cards into my hand. I cannot afford to lose them.
Yeah, that's the thing about profit players is they want that perfect hand. They want that hand, and that's why Tunnel Vision's so popular with the deck. Is they want that hand that no matter what you do against them, when they're ready to move, you can't overcome all their tricks.
Yep.
And yeah, Kevin just taking
Kevin
another
grabs the
force off of
projective telepathy.
yep, and it's another card that Johnny doesn't have in his life force to utilize.
Yep.
And now, even if Johnny's got Vader in hand, he can't. Well, there goes the Vader. So Vader was also hiding the whole game.
Yeah, Vader was not where he needed him to be, and I think that was Johnny trying to solve that. I needed the Vader because yeah, right now he can. I mean, in theory, he could activate to play Vader and have enough to draw Battle Destiny, but
But not swing.
he also doesn't necessarily need to because again, he can start a battle against Leia. It's just going to get dodged away. Like he has the ability
Yep.
for guys. It's just a can he do anything else with it? And he can't.
And
Not without an
after all
answer
the
for dodge.
yeah, and after all the pings, we have to also remember that Dark Deal is going to get the opportunity to activate some battles himself and retrieve a couple extra cards to go towards differential because of First Strike being on the table.
Yeah. I will say I don't think if he gets to do that, it's going to be very late. And
It's either this turn or next. I mean, so he
the
deals
question
3
is,
this turn, right?
Does Johnny even leave him that option, or does Johnny just deal what he can for damage and then draw up? If he
I
gets
think at
put in a
some point Johnny
position where he
probably does.
can't. And there we see Twaska at the docking bay. I guess you can start a battle and kill Elsk. Okay, so he's moving away from the walker, or
He's gonna
at least
stack.
moving
He's just
Hark
gonna
in
stack
there.
everybody. Stack everybody.
Yep. Yeah. I'm just saying, all
And
right,
say,
if
go
you want to
right
battle
ahead.
me,
Battle into me, bro.
yep, he's going to
Battle me.
save with Harksef.
Tawaska was important because of ability. So he
Yep.
saves himself a card by deploying Tawas.
Yeah. He needed to deploy a guy. Twas is not the guy I expected.
It'll
So
work.
the
Still
put
work, I
everybody
should say.
together says he doesn't have. a great answer for, I mean, honestly, I think Johnny starts a battle. When you factor in
Oh, Johnny's got a battle.
and especially when you factor in the adding 4 to the battle destiny, Johnny's only down 1 power. Palpatine's going to live. You're probably killing 2 guys there at minimum. You're killing 2 guys there at minimum.
How is Johnny only down 1 power?
The total battle destiny is going to be
Oh,
plus
because you're
4.
counting the battle destiny. I see
So
what
he'll
you're
be
saying.
at
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
at 11 to 12, and
Yeah,
then it's
with the
just a
battle
compare
destiny. Got
destiny.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I tend to do that a lot when I'm thinking through a play line is like, okay, if I'm adding to the battle destiny, that's just part of my total power. So
Yeah.
where am I at then? So I actually don't love Kevin moving everybody together like that because of that.
Yeah. So
Like,
here's Harksef canceling both drains. So he was
yep.
just,
So it
had
was
a
he just
purpose for the forts last time.
I think he was saving the force to be able to dodge. He wanted to keep the 5 force in play.
Yeah. So he could dodge and it's a trap both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there we see the
Uncontrollable
uncontrollable
fury
fury
being
go
lost.
away.
Yeah, that
So
makes
Kevin
sense.
was all in on ping damage all over
That's
the place.
profit, man. That's profit. And that's
Yep.
why, like, when we were talking about Decree, it's like, yeah, Decree does turn off Luke if you get some cards down, but like, profit isn't about the drains. Profit's about the
Yeah.
ping. And that's why profit's a good answer to Ral Ops, because with the force drains being -1, there's a good chance your drains do get turned off. So how are you going to deal damage? Well, order to engage and or be destroyed. And
So Johnny's losing 1 to retrieve a trooper. So he loses Navy Trooper Fenson to retrieve a trooper via Karita. And I don't remember, is Karita into hand or? Yeah, it's retrieve a trooper into hand. So I think he's going to drop another trooper. And I'm wondering, oh, it's a Stormtrooper Cadet. Okay, I was wondering if it was going to be a Cadet or if he had Barrich to drop with Elsk.
this is a
So,
nice turn for Johnny, though, because if he wasn't able to battle this turn, he'd be taking 3, and then it was going to be 4 with the ping damage. Now, with everybody consolidated, you avoid the 3, and the ping damage is only going to be 3. So,
and there we
avoiding some
see
nice damage.
Enfield and Torrance. So he's drawing 2 Battle Destiny there now.
Yep. Yep.
That's
Get a little trooper assault action in before the end of the
depending
game.
on what those 2 Destiny are, this could actually end up being real bad for Kevin.
I
Okay.
think it doesn't. So Chewie forfeits for 7, Tawas for
Yep.
3, and Hertzstep for 3. So between those, you've got 16. And remember, Leia is completely immune to attrition. So, if it gets into a situation, you can still lose a couple force and then move Leia then to the spaceport docking bay to deal ping damage with Tempest Scout 1 via
Yeah.
order to engage. So I think, even in a worst case scenario, he just loses Chewie, Hark, and Tawas.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be, there's the Trooper Assault, and there's another grabber for the Trooper Assault. But
Additional 8 power being added here.
yeah, and there's a sense, which I think is smart because that 8 power was going to be
Yeah,
real
if that
big.
8 power is going to cause overflow, you sense it, you lose
Yeah.
3 instead of 8.
Because, yeah, you're still, Chewie plus Twas and Hark will cover 13. And that might be about what you need to lose. But now so Johnny can also look at this and go, okay, now Kevin's down to 10 cards down, which at least makes it a manageable differential for
Yeah.
game 2. Like,
Yeah, it's going to be manageable for game 2 for sure. The other nice thing for Dark Deal, though, as he looks to close out this game, is Johnny now has 0 cards in hand.
yeah,
So, next turn, Dark Deal can do a lot of things that he otherwise wouldn't have done.
yep,
As we see that the blaster shot from Leia is successful. We'll
yeah.
get one from Chewie as well.
And honestly, I don't think Johnny cares. Basically, Palpatine could literally just end up staring at Leia by the time this
Yeah,
is done.
Palpatine will survive, and one of the troopers will survive because the stormtrooper cadet will forfeit and cover
Yeah.
any remaining attrition there.
And there's the one
And
from
that's a
Master
miss.
Luke. Yeah, because Chewie doesn't add +1. That's kind of VHD, I'd be very surprised if there's a Force Lightning in the deck. There's the Barrich, who I think Johnny really would have liked to see. Yeah, so it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Johnny's at 27 power.
Yeah, so
28,
you
excuse
just
me.
lose these three characters and you're golden.
Yep. And there's a 4, which is one of the troopers. Yeah, and the characters will all cover the Battle Destiny. You keep Leia alive, but it does give up the Ping-A-Wand. It also loses you Hark.
Well, Chewie and Leia were in the same place, so it
Yeah,
doesn't really give up a ping. And more importantly, Leia survives, and she will absolutely deal ping next turn because
because Johnny
you just
doesn't
don't
have
have enough
cards.
time. Yeah, you don't have any cards. I mean, you can get one with Ralops, but the chances that it's going to be something that's impactful. That's a nice play, though.
All
That's a
right.
nice play. So removes the ability to stand in front of those. So very, very nice play by Johnny Chu here.
I'm
Utilizing Spaceport Street
so Spaceport Street is he can
moves for
move
free.
free. So actually, he could also theoretically have moved Elsk over to the docking bay just to get that Drain of 1 in.
No, 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 no. That's the point. Is Leia doesn't have someone to stand in front of now.
Oh
She
yeah,
can
good
move in
point.
front of Janice, who can battle her, or she could stand in front of the Emperor or nobody. But he saved himself 3 damage with this nice little move of Tempest Scout, a quiet move, utilizing the Spaceport Street to move for free with no resources left. Johnny finds a way to save himself 3 force.
Yeah,
And while it
no.
might not change the game, it matters for differential.
And again, this is why we talked about at the start. Like Johnny is so good because I would have missed that play for sure. Like heck, I still missed it.
It's a very easy play to miss. You know, in chess, they always say that the retreating moves are the hardest to find. And here, a very similar idea, just retreat the Tempest Scout to safety with the Emperor Palpatine where they can't be attacked with order to engage damage. So it's a
Yep.
very nice play by Johnny.
So, and I think yeah, he so Kevin activated everything, which I think he's just. I mean, you got to deploy somebody to get around ability. If you've got a card with ability in hand,
Yep.
and then it's a question of just where are they going.
It doesn't matter because so you're going to ping for 3 this turn. Oh wait, he already
He
pinged.
already
Oh, I'm
pinged,
sorry. It does matter.
so
It does matter because it's going to be another turn. So I think you probably put him on Tatooine.
yeah. I honestly, I think you put him on Tatooine. I think you move Leia over to the spaceport docking bay.
Yep.
So then you max. You drain Johnny out, and then I think Johnny just drains for the 3 he can and draws up. So, and if
Nah,
that occurs,
I think Johnny drains for 3. Well, this is going to change it. So Lando's
yeah,
the key card because that increases the ping damage from
yep,
or be destroyed to where now Johnny's going to die next turn.
yep. That's what I was saying.
But
Is if it was Lando, if it was anyone that increased the ping, Johnny's now staring at ping for 4 and a drain of 1, which is the 5 cards he has left. So Kevin's drawing a few. That I don't necessarily love. He
yeah,
added a
he's
couple
got to
extra
lose.
cards he didn't need to, unless he was worried that Johnny had a limited resources.
Well, he's got 3 here with the drain, so he's going to
Yeah.
lose 3 out of the 4 cards in his hand. And then maybe there's just again, Prophet being the type of deck that it is. There was one card in his hand that says, "No, this card is staying till the end with me."
So the other thing we could see Johnny do is, oh, Johnny isn't even bothering to drain.
Wow.
He's just
Oh, because
drawing
he's
up.
yeah, because he could just lose 3 from hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
As the other thing
so
we
a
could have
nice
seen Johnny do would be to
deploying
Karita for a
battle.
trooper to
Yeah.
battle and cause a ping and then just lose the overflow. But that's where we're at. So Kevin wins by 7
And 27
and
to 28 and
27
loss.
28 and loss. So very close. And looks like Kevin said give him 2 minutes. So we will close
Yep.
this. I will get this stuff changed. So I'll let you do some talking here while I enter results and such in here.
Yeah. Yeah, so very, very close game there between the two players. And sets the stage for almost like a winner take all matchup here in the second game, where Johnny needs to win by at least 7 to have a chance. 8 would clinch it for him. And of course, Kevin does not need to win. If he does lose by exactly 7, it'll go to a lost pile count off. And trying to think. So you said that you saw Dark Deal playing Ral Tirops himself,
No, I
and
didn't.
Johnny.
I don't know
Oh,
what
you
Dark
did
Deal's
not.
playing.
Okay.
No, I have no idea
Okay.
what. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know what
trying to
either of
think.
them were playing. I said Timo
Oh, Timo.
in the
Yeah.
next round is playing Ralops. So that
Yeah.
was that was real close. That's 7 is close, and the fact that lost piles are effectively equal at 27 to 28 really does mean if Johnny wins by 7, he's probably still going to take the match because it's rare you see the lost piles that close. But
is very rare.
it'll be close, and that's actually why I'm a little surprised Johnny didn't chose not to drain. Like, yeah, maybe Kevin could have put one more back, but like you drain for 5 if Kevin puts one, or you drain for 3 if Kevin puts one back, then you do the fine, I'll lose a force to deploy a trooper battle and cause the first strike ping. Like it would have potentially added a couple more cards to Johnny's lost pile if Kevin was able to do that, but it would have also added for Johnny's if Kevin didn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to drain. I think that draining was the correct thing. Just keeping in mind lost pile differential can be the tiebreaker. You got to drain there. I get
Yeah.
the drop. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the drop is perfectly reasonable. So, ooh, Drew Lichtenstein versus PMJ in an OCS match immediately after they've played
after they
for the
just battled it
GEMPC.
out. Yeah.
That's fancy. So, yeah, VHC, he couldn't have battled Leia, but you just retrieve to get any trooper with Kurita, and then you deploy him in front of anybody.
In
Like you're
front of
just gonna
Ben, in
lose
front
the.
of Luke.
You
Yeah,
deployed
you
in front of
want to lose the
Lando and
battle.
go fine. What I mean,
You
your
want to
worst
lose the
case
battle, take
scenario is
overflow.
yeah, either take overflow or you put it in front of Lando, so he's got to hit you to take overflow, and then he doesn't draw Battle Destiny, or he saved a fallen portal, and then you net out the exact same number of cards in used and lost. Like if he saved a port, if the one card he saved in hand was a portal, he loses from deck to put the portal back, and you're okay with that as well. So, because you'd have gotten rid of his hand. And maybe that was Johnny just saying, I want to make sure you don't get an on the edge or something going. So.
Yeah, I don't think that Dark Deal was playing on the edge, though, in my opinion. I know we didn't see all his cards, but it didn't seem like the type of deck that was doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a way to easily track it, so looks like they should be starting here in a second. So, as we said earlier, this is the top 4 match. The winner of this will be taking on Timo Dussel for not quite the championship because this is a double elimination bracket. So
That's
Timo
great.
has not yet lost a match. Whoever wins the match between Timo and the winner of this match then has to be beaten twice to lose. So,
Yep. And
yeah.
they're off.
And okay, so Kevin is on Ralops for
And
Dark
Throne Room
Side,
mains
and
for
Johnny
Johnny
on
2.
3 effect Throne Room. So, the Throne Room can certainly beat Rops. Like, and Johnny's starting battle plan to make it to slow Dark Deal down a little bit. Like to say,
Or are
if
we
you want
going
to
to see
start
cheese
draining,
this match? That's the real question. Will Johnny bring some never tell me the odds? Will he be playing something a little off the wall here?
if your question is, will Johnny Chu play cheese? The answer is yes. Like, I love Johnny. I consider Johnny a friend, but Johnny is going to play cheese because cheese wins, and Johnny is going to play it well. Now, the There's No Try Start is interesting because Throne Room can absolutely be running a decent amount of Sense Alter, but Johnny could have leaned into that and been doing the exact opposite and just saying, hey, people are going to expect this and they're going to waste a starting interrupt on it. And instead, I'm just not going to play it. And I'm going to play a bunch of High Destinies and go to town.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but typically Sense Alter is played more in the Throne Room main nudge style. And when you see the Throne Room mains with the three effects, staging areas and insurrection, I feel like a lot of times it's more of an anger, fear, aggression, order to engage type
Yep.
of strategy.
Oh, Johnny does get a Twix in opening hand, though. That's always nice. And he throws down the Home One War Room and the Anger, Fear, Aggression right
Yep.
away.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
that's what I expect. When I see the three effects start, as dark side, you really got to key into I'm going to get with anger, fear, aggression. You need to have an answer for it. Projected telepathy is a great answer, but light side smart and they grab it a lot. So
yep. And
we'll
you
see
have
how
to
this plays
have it.
out.
Although,
And you have to have it.
like right now, Kevin only activated 2 force because Johnny says, well, I'm not giving you any force. And this is going to take this is going to be a slow starting game because Kevin's not going to want to put himself in a position for Johnny to do something.
Ooh, but look at this. There is
I'm I don't think that's the site he wanted to get.
No, so he's basically saying that he activated two, and both those cards are the two 1-0 docking bays.
He may also, depending on what version of ROPS he's playing, he may only be playing one.
Sure,
Like
he
he
could be
might be
playing
playing the
one.
Death Star 2 and Executor. He might just be playing Executor or Death Star 2. He didn't pull with mobilization points before he activated, which is generally a mistake, but then he does do it after he activated 2 and gets Kurita, plays Bad Feeling Have I, which is going to marginally annoy Johnny. Like it does make all his stuff cost more, but like Johnny's actually going to have force. So, but
Johnny's going to have force, but it still matters, because those add up so fast on Raltier. So now you're
yep,
looking at +4 for all your mains, and each one costing, about 9 force. Even by mid game, you're really getting down to a point where you can really only deploy one at a time.
agreed. But with Kevin having to put out the spaceport docking bay right away, he's given Johnny a way to go into Reltier without deploying. The same way we talked about
Oh, yeah.
Johnny could have waited against Profit and just said, hey, I'm not going to put the docking bay out. Like Kevin could have theoretically done that same thing and said, I'm going to force you to pay full freight to come get me. And
Oh, I think he was very upset
he
to
couldn't do
only
that.
find the spaceport docking bay. And I think it's important when you're playing Raltier operations in this exact setup that you use the Raltier operations to search your deck first before your Imperial Arrest Order to avoid this scenario from taking place.
So, and Johnny plays Farm Boy Luke plus a lightsaber. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that I would have hated him going to the spaceport docking bay right away for free because Kevin couldn't flip that this turn. Without a bunch of
He,
luck,
he,
Kevin was
he
not
couldn't.
going to be able to flip. And then you can just start backing Luke up. I mean, you don't have to, but it's a drain of 2 instead of a drain of 1 if Johnny decides to pay for it, which he may not with Battle Plan. I just wouldn't have hated seeing Johnny take a little more aggressive line because now Kevin can theoretically flip.
He can theoretically flip, but if Luke was down and anger, fear, aggression popped, you give him an opportunity to dodge that 4 damage. In this case, he's going to keep Luke at a non-battleground site where they need a spy if they want to avoid anger, fear, aggression damage.
I mean, Kevin was only activating 6 force. If you want to drop, I mean, you'd have to drop 2 guys in front of Luke to avoid
Nah, you
getting
just throw a Gick in
overflowed,
there. Ralops, yeah, Ralop's got the
or you have to
Gicks.
have your Gick. But again, he basically has his starting hand. That
Ooh,
was
is he
all he
going for
had.
it here? Is he going for it?
He might. So I've played against Kevin playing this deck before, a similar deck to this, and he goes real aggressive with troopers and tries to kind of bait you into
Yeah. Yeah,
here's a
absolutely.
bunch of troopers and trooper assaults, and maybe that's what Johnny didn't want to face, but at the same time, like get once he sets up, it's a lot harder to get him turned back off. And if you make it so he can't set up, you slow him down.
Yeah, I love to slow down round ups, and that's my main strategy. Now, I of course famously am a hidden base player, but um, in my strategies, whenever I'm playing Ralops, my first turn is dedicated to putting a ship at Ralops and slowing them down from flipping immediately.
Yep.
But look at Kevin coming out. You talk about
Ooh.
aggressive. How about search and destroy on turn number 2 and 3 flimsy characters out? That's aggression right there.
I mean, I don't hate that line. So Johnny loses a spy off the top. There went Tycho, a spy who is also a Rogue Squadron pilot and functions with Master Wedge,
Yep.
Red
Yep.
Squadron leader. So Kevin has 5 cards in hand and 3 sites where he doesn't draw Battle Destiny.
That's what I'm saying. So he's
So
definitely got the gick, right? He's got the gick.
I
We
think
know
he's
that.
got the Gick and or the barrier.
Mm-hmm,
Does Johnny
mm-hmm.
have anything he can do to it?
Now,
There's
see, the
another
nice thing
Twix.
for Dark Deal is if you can survive this next turn without Anger, Fear, Aggression popping, you can use your Raltier Ops pull to get your projected telepathy and have it in time.
Yep. Yeah, he's got to survive this turn, and I think he will. So I'm
Now, that being said, Kevin can't really drain next turn because of Battle Plan,
yeah, there's no way
only
Kevin's
activating
draining,
10.
and
Yeah,
I think that might have been also Johnny's plan. That's why he started Battle Plan. Is he's going to slow Kevin down quite a bit as well,
absolutely.
because if Kevin can't drain, and
Oh,
there's Beggar.
oh, nasty tricks immediately.
So I'm expecting we're going to see some sort of,
Tawaska would be great here.
and he's going to use the one. There's Wedge with Luke. Um, this Luke, I believe, yeah, one pilot in Red 5. So this Luke is a Rogue Squadron pilot.
Yes,
So
he
he
is.
can
Yeah.
move him over. Um, saved
And
himself
you
a
might
few
want
force
to.
dropping Wedge. Oh, I think at this point, I think they are going to go to the docking bay. Like, they become much scarier for Kevin to go after, even if he's got the tactical plus. When you're like, okay, well, I'm killing a guy with the lightsaber. I'm canceling your battle destiny, which means you're not adding to it as well.
And threatening fallen
Yeah,
portal.
this is Kevin. I think is going to have to just abandon the docking bay for the moment, and that opens up Johnny having the potential answer. Now, Johnny only saved 2 force, which means if Dark Deal, if he'd hit the projective telepathy, he wouldn't have been able to grab it. So he stopped at 12. He was not planning on grabbing. He just didn't want to draw up to 13 and get monarched. So, because Kevin only activated 10, and he's
Yeah,
paying
and
2
I
to
think,
search.
if you're Kevin, you need to start wondering, why do I have mobilization points on the table? Because he is not occupying the Death Star docking bay to get extra force. He's only getting 1 extra force from the spaceport docking bay. He's probably going to have to evacuate there. So I think, if I'm Kevin, I want to start occupying these docking bays and getting my force going. Because if Ralops gets, say, like 8 to 10 cards in hand and is activating 15 to 20, it's a lot scarier. Right now, with only 6 in hand and 8 in force pile, Ralops isn't that scary right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So there's the Executor docking bay from Kevin. So, yeah, Kevin must have activated the Executor docking bay and the Death Star 2 docking bay as his 2 force
Brutal,
on
brutal,
turn one of the
right?
routes here.
Like,
That's a
that's an
that's
all-time
rough.
bad draw.
That
And,
is
and and that's kind of gotten him where he's in this weird predicament right now is, icons coming out, not being able to
So
activate the force you want.
we see
But he gets the
Grenwick,
3 Death Star troopers.
Torrent, and Major Enfeld. He's got the blast door controls, so he may send them all at.
Oh, he is. He's going after him, and he's saying, "Let's see your fallen portal, buddy.
Yeah,
Do you
he's
have it?" Because if Lightside doesn't have fallen portal, Darkside will draw 2 destiny here,
Wedge
and
will
because they'll
cancel
draw 2 destiny.
one.
Exactly, but they'll still get their bonus from Ral Ops,
Yep.
and decent chance they will be able to clear some sites here.
Yeah, you're certainly going to take out Wedge if you get that extra battle destiny in. So now, based on what got dropped, if he's got the portal, I think you target Elsk and probably Torrent or Grenwick, the 2 ability 1 guys. So no, he didn't
No
have the
portal,
portal, but also no
no
trooper
trooper assault.
assault. Yeah, that'll hit him.
Big destiny wasted though. Big destiny there.
You know, the destiny's not all that wasted because Elsk is just going to cover everything anyways, and Barrich could make this uncomfortable. I'm actually a little surprised he didn't swing at Barrich instead, unless he's sitting on like a Clash.
Also interesting,
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to have enough ability to draw battle destiny left after this battle, so
Yeah,
we get
he's
a
going to have
5,
to
but
move
he'll get rid of
Averick
Wedge.
over. And Johnny's got to cancel that 3. Yep. So he's 15 to 6. I mean, depending on how that Barrage draw goes, it could be Wedge and a couple Force. So, because Barrage will now draw and subtract from that, and he could also actually, if he draws a 4 here, he could end up being able to keep everyone. Yeah.
Ooh, 5. He's going to keep
That
everybody,
was
actually.
real big. So it'd be Wedge and 4 here, because I don't think you can lose Luke.
Might be able to. I mean, anger, fear, aggression's still inserted. You saw he was playing Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight, so eventually you want to replace Luke anyway.
Yeah.
But you do lose Anakin's
All
lightsaber.
right, so he loses the barrier from used.
So he's taken the 4.
So this is where I think Kevin has a Gick, but I don't think he's going to be able to play it if Johnny's got the draw their fire. Like this is where, depending on what is in Johnny's 12 card hand, this could get real interesting real quick. And we see a wise advice going from hand. So Johnny might be saying, I'll pay for my grabbers if I need them. There's an off the edge and the signal, and then Wedge on top. So he wants to get Wedge back, I think. That's a play you make if you're intending to get Wedge back. I think otherwise there's not a ton of reason to peel before losing Wedge. So, and the off the edge is interesting. That tells me Johnny's probably also playing the Cloud City docking bay, because you've got to have a guy in Cloud City to do that. So, because there's no way you're counting on Darkside playing Cloud City like that. You don't.
You don't definitely put a card in like that. Table. So, and of course, Dark Deal has to draw this card, unfortunately for him, because
he has to draw or he has to move. Yep.
Yeah. One is the absolute worst case scenario for your force pile when Beggar is out.
Yeah. Okay, so he's just spaceport streeting everybody away.
Yep.
Which makes sense, because if Johnny had a sorry about the mess, this goes pear-shaped real quick. So, but now Kevin's going to have 5 cards in hand. He's going to be activating 10. And Johnny can at least potentially just flip him back with a ship to Kurita, move it to Raltier, and say thanks. And I think Kevin would struggle against that.
Yeah, I would love to see Johnny get Raltier Ops flip back this turn. I will say this, though. Much as I said prior to the game with Prophet, Dark Deal very much has practiced Raltier Trooper Ops just a ton. So
Oh, agree.
he knows his
He's
lines, and he's very much tuned into what he needs to do against each type of different deck.
for sure. He knows the lines, but it's still a combo deck, which means you can occasionally just have your combo fall apart. And Johnny is a good enough player that he's going to be the guy that can take advantage of that much more than most. And we see another Johnny tunnel vision for something, and now we see a Twix come down and first officer Thennespi.
And we're
So,
going to see home one come in.
yep,
There it is. And home one's going to go flip back Raltier Ops here.
yeah, and I think you're fine with that. So, yep, and Thennespi moves up on there because she doesn't do anything unless she's piloting it with another Moncal on it.
Well,
So,
she does do something that's very important, and that's bring the ability of pilots on home one up to 7. So
yep.
now, even if Zuckuss and Mist Hunter comes down, you're still drawing a Destiny, and that's big.
Well, and Zuckuss and Mist Hunter, if you're keeping ROPS on the 0 side, Zuckuss and Mist Hunter aren't cracking your immunity no matter what. Like you're immune to less than 8 right now, and Johnny just drew back up to 12. So the one downside is Johnny now is stuck. His own battle plan is slowing him down as well.
It is,
And
but
we
I
see
think you're
Kevin
happy with
activate
that.
10. Yeah, I think
Think Lightside's got a plan to eventually satisfy Battle Plan.
yeah.
Whereas Darkside here, if they didn't have a spaceship in hand, they need to now go find one, not only to satisfy Battle Plan, but simply to flip back. Like they can't do
Well, he needs
anything with
another
their
site
objective.
too. Like that's what I'm more wondering about is if he doesn't have another site.
I think he'll have another site. I think Jungle
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense, as we do see Darth
okay.
Vader come to
So
fight Luke.
he the fact that he didn't pull a site makes me wonder if he was sitting on just 3 and
That's a
counting on
dangerous
being
game
able
to
to
play
do
with
that.
Ralops.
Yeah,
I think you got to have 4
that
with
that
Ralops every
that
single time.
seems extremely risky because it is going to be hard to flip back. Like Johnny, there's a lot of things Johnny could be sitting on that would stop this from working. Major Hewix. Oh, he does something with
He's
troopers, of
trying to
course.
overflow.
There's
He's going for
adds
overflow.
1 to total power of each troopers present at same site. 1 on Endor subtracts 1. Yeah, I mean, if you can hit Luke, you get the overflow. And there's the cadet who satisfies as an Imperial leader or non-cadet trooper, and Hewix is a leader. So, yeah, he's going all in on the I'm going to win this game via battles.
And search
And
and destroy. If he clears Luke, search and destroy turns back on too, which is nice.
yeah. So, but he's down to 3 cards in hand. Like, if Johnny's got an answer to come back, this could get real rough real quick. And Luke's hit. I mean, it's a
Luke's hit.
5. Luke's hit.
And we'll
Luke's
see if
4 put
Johnny's
0.
running Hujix, but oftentimes Throne Remains is not running Hujix.
No, back in this era, you're not running Hujix because there was no puller for it. That's why Masterful Move was so much better for the dark side, and why you would see dark side running Gik and Monarch a lot more than you would see light side, because light side did not have a puller. It's actually part of the reason Escape Pod V was in the very first virtual set, was to
Makes
give
a lot of sense.
light side that balance.
Being able to
A
get their Hujix.
Destiny 6 that goes and gets you Hujix, because Darkseid had always had that. There was a power imbalance there significantly. Like, I'm not a huge fan of, hey, everything should be mirror cards. And there's Johnny with the on the edge targeting Luke, and he just says, yep, Luke dies. So,
Yep, it's a very nice play. I use this one with my hidden base deck because I run on the edge.
yep.
And it's a nice card that's both offensive and defensive. Of course, offensively, you can retrieve the cards, get those back, but defensively, it gives you an out in overflow battles like this. And you're able to swing your weapons first, kind of clear them out, and possibly take out a key character before you use the edge, and then you just evacuate the site. So nice
Yep.
play by Johnny.
Yeah, and that was one of those. So Johnny had an answer because the other thing I could have seen would have been like Clash of Sabers. Like if he clashes Vader there, then it gets interesting because yeah, you end
Yeah,
up
Clash of
losing,
Sabers is a nasty, nasty card.
and we see he's going to do a little bit of moving. Kevin's doing a little bit of moving guys around. He's still not flipped though. Like he's got 4 ability at he's got enough ability at each site, and Johnny loses Gunite from hand for Search and Destroy. Yep, that doesn't seem like a card you're going to get any value out of. So Kevin drew his card. I mean, this is where Johnny's got to have something. But like, so Johnny activates 1. That sure looks like
He's
he's
going
going
to
to
use
play the
a
signal.
signal. Yeah. No, I mean, I like where Johnny's at in this game. I think he's doing the things that Throne Remains wants to do in this situation. He's got Ral Tirops flip back. It's costing Dark Deal 3 to drain. Dark Deal's only activating 12, only got 4 in hand. I think you got to be very satisfied if you've gotten to this point here with Light Side. But we do see a tactical support here coming from Dark Deal, looking to replenish that hand and have a threat next turn.
Yeah. So he takes Wayland, Drissolin, and I roll into hand. So
And those are the last combo troopers right there. So
yeah,
the troopers really have 3 combos. The first is the Elisk with any other biker scout, where he can forfeit and get rid of all the attrition. You've got the Death Star troopers who add a destiny, and similarly, Dresselin adds a battle destiny with Erol.
yeah. So and Johnny then activates the rest of his force. So he ended up not signaling and just said, "All right, fine, I'll activate everything." Um, I don't see any value in paying to drain for 1 there. But like
I
really,
do. I mean, if you're not ready to deploy elsewhere, right? What are you going to do this turn? I think there is something to be said for
and
allowing
that
Dark
was what I
Side
was wondering
to,
if we were going to see a Obi to the Tatooine docking bay or
yeah,
someone to Tatooine just to okay, I'll satisfy search. You can pay 3 to
satisfying
drain.
search is big.
There's Luke. Um,
Do we see a weapon Lev here going to
maybe
get the saber?
if he's got it. So and Luke
No,
comes
just going to
over
stack up.
to. He may not have had the weapon lev or the saber
It's nice to keep
in
2
hand.
characters there, though,
Yep,
because they're less susceptible to the beatdown, number 1. Number 2, you'd love to keep Obi-Wan on the table and satisfy search and destroy if there is a battle. Luke
yep,
forfeits for 9, so that's nice.
yeah. And I don't think Kevin can come battle. Like even if he wants to go with all those with the 3 troopers there, I don't know that I'd be real happy with that. And the anger for aggression popped. Kevin did not have an answer for it, which didn't really
I'm very
surprise me.
surprised at that.
He's I think he was trying to the 1 turn he got to search with Rops, I think he was trying to put together his combo. And then he got flipped back and that was it. So
Yeah,
he's only had
I think
1
he
time to
needed to
do it.
go for that. I think he needed to go for the projective there, but
Oh,
yeah,
so
he's
he
he's
is
going for it here. And I'll tell you
I
what concerns me is Lightside left 1 force there, almost as if that they were prepared in case you had the first strike, so that they could still play Fallen Portal.
yep.
And that, I mean, I
And
think Dark Deal's got a gick, but it's still scary.
and I think Kevin's got a plan to kick because like 2 battle destinies kills Luke in all likelihood. Like you're not drawing you're not drawing more than you're not drawing 2 5s or greater in all likelihood. And you're going to lose at least 2 guys probably 2 guys coming back, but then you've got to have something to do with those guys. I mean, the Sergeant Whalen's nice. He's a fun little treat. It does save him the 4 from the AFA, and that might have been the I'll lose 2 guys instead of 4. I was a little surprised Johnny didn't have a Fallen Portal. Like I'm shocked we haven't seen that yet. So there's a 4 for Battle Destiny, so he needs a 6 or it's just going to be Luke. And a 1 is 5. That will still kill Luke because Obi has no immunity.
But that still was always the plan. Is
Yeah,
Luke was there specifically to be lost.
yep. Luke, you're fine with losing. And Akbar is a
Yeah.
1, which is, again, it kills a guy.
It kills a
So,
guy. And you're going to have to evacuate this site, as you mentioned. That's going to cost you 2 more force. So
yeah.
Darkdeal's only going to have 5 in hand
Do you
after he draws up.
evacuate the site or do you, especially if he's going real sneaky with a circle is now complete, do you move
Yeah, you can
Vader
move Vader. Yeah.
over? Like, oh, no, he evacuated the site. So,
But he
yeah,
did avoid the
he's,
damage. He avoided the 4 damage. But,
yep. And
you know,
now
now
he's
if
got
you're
to
light
draw.
side, get some drains in potentially.
Yeah, I think you have to if your light side is, you've got to drain for 1 and 1 because, like, right now, Kevin's got a pile of cards on table and he's really defending 3 sites he's never going to pay to drain at
Mm-hmm.
or never until it's too late. And you're just, okay, fine. I will do some damage now. Like, because Kevin's activating 12 cards total and, like, oh, so Johnny uses both or one of his 2 force. There you go. Yeah. So he's already, and there went the lateral damage. That was
Boy,
in
you would have
Kevin's
loved to have
force.
that in hand.
He would have, but does he have another ship? And there went first strike off the top. Like he has to have the lat damage. He has to have a ship. The Nesby still forfeits, still gets her forfeit, and you're still drawing Battle Destiny. Like you'd have to have all of that together in a hand. He's still only drawn like a couple cards all game. He's used the
Yeah, but
tacticals
if you
really
had the
well.
lateral damage, right, you can battle into home one because you would flip your objective and then you'd have at least a +3, if not a +4 to your
Yeah,
destiny. And there's a very good chance, um, you know, if you could draw a 4, you just clear the whole thing.
but you still have to have all those things in your 3 card hand.
Yeah, which he doesn't.
That
Which he
he's
doesn't.
just like Johnny keeping home 1 at Reltier is putting in so much work because Kevin can't get him flipped back. And because he's had to be aggressive every turn. Like this will probably be, and there the anger, fear, aggression popped again. And Kevin's only got 3 cards in hand. There's nobody he can come battle with. Like he's
Yeah.
got 13 force, but like anybody he's thinking of battling with, I guess maybe in space if you think you can draw
And I'm telling you,
a
he's pretty
4 or
much out of
higher.
troopers. He's pretty much out of troopers. Like
And
if
there's the
if you if you look at what a trooper assault deck does, you know, again, there's these 3 key combos of troopers, and you want
yeah,
to again have 3 good battles with each of them. And he's used them all already.
yeah. Like Barrich is the one that's mildly concerning is the Barrich and Elsk, but you can just let him have that site. Like again,
Mm-hmm.
it's a site where he's draining for 1 that he has to pay 3 for.
Yeah, and the lack of projected telepathy making appearances is
And there's
really
Navy Trooper
impactful.
Fenson who will subtract from the on the edge or subtracts 3 from force retrieved for on and off the edge, which is nice. And adds 2 to, or only at the bunker, adds 2 to the play cost. But it's really, he shuts down on and off the edge, which is good because we saw Johnny play the on the edge and lose an off the edge. But there the AFA hits for 4, and projective from use pile was one of those 4. Projective, tactical, trooper Davenfeld, and a trooper assault. Yeah, Kevin's got to draw. Like Kevin's got to draw, and he's got to find space. He's got to flip
Yeah,
and be able
he's
to.
got to get flipped. He's got to get flipped or he loses, and
Yeah,
it's getting very dire as he's now down to 10 cards in his life force.
yeah. He does have 10 in
And
hand, so he can start spending those. But
I mean, they're going to go quickly. And
yeah,
if Johnny
VHD
has
he could.
another,
he could deploy to a ship to Raltier to land it and flip, but
I don't think if
that's
you get a
still
ship
not
to
great.
Raltier, if you get a ship to Raltier and flip, you want to move to Cardia or
Yeah,
Caridia
yeah,
because you need to drain. You need to drain. You don't. He doesn't have force to drain. So even if he was to, clear everything up, he's only got
and
10. He can only
Johnny
pay for
just
2 drains per turn,
signaled
really.
for draw their fire. So that's a concern. The blast door control. Oh, Johnny activates everything though, so he
I
it
think he's just doing it specifically to get the 5 back in and to have the threat. I
yeah.
don't think he's going to attack this turn. If I'm Johnny Chu, I'm loving everything about what's going on. My guess is he actually didn't want to draw their fire and he played the signal to try to get an anger, fear, aggression out. And if he could have got another one of them, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah. So and we see the 2 drains of 1. So the one thing getting the draw their fire does though is it forces Kevin to not be able to spread at all. Because with Beggar, you cannot afford
Yeah, you can't spread it off. It's
you
true.
can't you have to leave 3 to 4 guys at every site
And the beauty is you
because
don't even have to deploy it. Just
yeah,
having it in your hand creates the threat.
Johnny having it there, he can just be like, okay, do something. Like the
Yeah.
blaster controls is actually a bigger card because that stops the barrier that Johnny could threaten in space. Like if Kevin finds the Boba Fett and Slave One, like Boba Fett and Slave One plus a 5 is real bad for Johnny. Like I would actually love to see Johnny put a forfeit fodder pilot up on home 1.
I
Just
agree. Just for safety.
yeah.
And of
I
course, if
mean,
that extra pilot is Major Hassan or Admiral Akbar, then everything's going to be a wrap because you can't challenge home one then.
yeah. Yeah, Bill, you're right. There's Twaska, Han with gun is still around in there. Potentially another Luke. So, and that might be kind of all it takes. Like, and there's another 5 as we see out of commission, putting Trooper Davin Felth out of play. Oh no. So there's absolutely no duplicates in Kevin's deck other than maybe 2 Vaders. So there's another anger, fear, and aggression. Another card I wouldn't hate seeing, and we saw Kevin lose it last round, would be uncontrollable fury would just be brutal right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's absolutely a card that would makes that count. And Johnny just says, I'm just gonna draw some. I don't need to
But
do anything else.
I'm gonna be very honest with you, Garrett. I do not see a path forward for Kevin at this point. I just don't think he has enough force to manipulate the game in a way that would be
The
anything sort of beneficial.
only thing he can do here is if he's got a 4 plus on the bottom, or actually it needs to be a 5 on the bottom, and Boba Fett and Slave One and Battle Home One. The Boba Fett and Slave One would flip him back, and then a 5 would crack the immunity, and that would blow the entire ship up because Johnny didn't back up the Nesby at all.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, though, Johnny could also be sitting on a spiral and just react with the spiral and say, okay, and that could be real bad. Like Johnny is a good enough player, he knows that's Kevin's flip back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically always been sitting on at least a couple force, which is the spiral. So there is the shuttle to flip.
Yeah, I mean,
And
what you gotta
over
do.
to the docking bay, and Ozzel as a pilot on the shuttle. So does he have the destiny? And there's, I've lost our 2 to stop home 1 from moving. Now that's big.
That's an interesting play.
So, because that gives him the flip back and then says, okay, I'm taking this.
Yeah, I'm going over to Cardia.
And the 2, yeah, you just had to draw greater than 1. So now I'm going to run away and then probably move. all the troopers to the docking bay. And now, okay, he must have a GIC.
Oh, he's definitely got a GIC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now he's gonna play the GIC. So it's really now the question is, does Johnny have a way to do something knowing he's got 5-5 at the bottom? Like that's actually strong. That bunch of five, knowing you've got the fives is big. The draw their fire, ping and retrieve, because Kevin's down to 10 cards down and 4 in hand. And it'll be 3 after he gicks this. So the GIC, I mean, he played basically Oberk in the GIC. He lost 2 instead of 4 to AFA. So the I've lost her 2 actually was a really big card. And there's the GIC, yep. So Kevin's now down to 13 cards total, but Johnny's damage has stopped.
No.
So,
but he can only lose 3 more cards. He can only lose 3 more cards from his life force. That's the tough part.
And like Johnny's got 14 cards in hand. He could easily also just activate everything and send a pile to the docking bay and say, let's dance. Like you move Obi over, you move
Anger, fear, aggression. No, anger, fear, aggression just popped. So there's none inserted right now. Yeah, so you could stand in front of him.
Yeah. You go with the stand in front and you go, I'm going to cost you guys. Bill, he means lose 3 because Johnny has to win by 8. Kevin's got to lose everything. Johnny's got to win by 8, but Johnny's got 15 cards down right now and 14 more in hand.
Oh yeah, I apologize. Yeah, I was reversing that in my head. Yeah, so, well pointed out. I had to start my GEMPC game here, so my attention's slightly distracted here.
So yeah, we've got Sergeant Torrent moving away actually. So Kevin's cycling his guys over and moving some away from the docking bay, which surprises me a little bit because you would think he'd. Although I guess he says if you move to the docking bay, I'm just going to move in front of you then and be fine because again, he's not taking any damage either. Don't like moving almost everybody away though. I want to see who he moves back there. So it won't be Elsk. And he moved Dresselin away. Okay, so he left just Fenson and Vader there. That we know Johnny has 5-5 at the bottom.
So if I'm light side, I would love to get an EPP down here at the docking bay where I can just clear those 2 and then docking bay transit over and flip you back.
Yeah, and that's exactly because you could even just shuttle Thinespi down to flip back too, although you'd have to have some sort of, you might have to document transit over as well. But like leaving just those 2 guys there feels risky. Now maybe he's got a barrier because we saw at least 1 barrier lost. So yeah, I don't love all that movement. Now we've talked about that Kevin is absolutely super well practiced at this deck. He knows what he's doing. But oh yeah, there's no way Johnny's not using Beggar, so saving the 2 means nothing. Like Johnny's using Beggar and Draw Their Fire to retrieve and cause a ping. And I'm not sure. So Johnny's in deploy phase. I will say if Johnny doesn't do anything this turn, I think it's about over. Like Johnny has to take something this turn or he's going to lose. And there's Luke, Jedi Knight.
And a Saber coming with him, I would imagine.
Yep, and that's exactly. So you Saber. There's the Draw Their Fire. So, and he doesn't have enough to, or yeah, he does have enough to transit. Transit costs 1. Yeah, so he can transit them over and get the flip back. So that's, and Kevin loses point man from hand. I mean, Kevin's only got 9 cards down. Swinging at Vader's interesting. I'm wondering, does Johnny have the blaster? Is Johnny running blaster proficiency? Because you know that he knew he had the 5, so he knew he was going to hit fence. He couldn't have missed fence in. Swinging at Vader is a slightly higher risk because if you missed that swing, you were done. All right, he didn't have the blaster proficiency. And Vader's swinging back at Luke. There's a 5, and he needs a 3 here. That's going to be a miss because Luke's lightsaber adds 1 to the defense value. So Luke, I mean, Luke's still immune to less than 7, so he's got to draw a 4
Yeah, it's possible,
to
and
kill
he's
Luke. Like,
very,
he
very
might not kill Luke, and then Johnny's in a really good position.
absolutely.
So, yep, and there's the 5 for Johnny's Battle Destiny. So yeah, I'm a little surprised Johnny swung at Vader. Even, I mean, I think he had to know what that destiny was, but like, oh, that was huge. So Kevin draws a 0 for Battle Destiny. It turns out to be a 3, but that means Johnny doesn't even have to lose force to keep Luke alive.
Yeah.
That battle
Yep,
was
and
just
flip back.
tied. He flips Kevin back. He's threatening to drain a 2 with Luke. Luke is a tank. You can't just. Kevin's only got 3 cards in hand. There's no way you go after Luke. I think he's probably just going to try and drain him out now. Like, you're draining for free, so you're draining for 3 where Johnny has to pay, but that's going to start to add up real quick. Like, you just don't have a lot of cards left, and Johnny moves just Leia over, so he splits and says, if you want to come to the docking bay, you need to send everybody because I'm going to kill at least 3 guys between the shot, the swing, and the destiny. And he does kill the Beggar. I mean, Johnny killed Beggar for the Luke play, and now we're going to see the drains. And I got to think Johnny's losing from hand here. There went Kessel. Yep, Kessel from hand is super reasonable. Here's drain of 1 at the prefect's office. There's a Twix from hand. So Matt's just being fairly quiet right now as he's started his own GEMPC Retro match game, and
Yeah.
Johnny losing Civil Disorder. So it's not, he didn't go on mute. I'm just going to finish this one.
I'm here. I'm just
More.
getting worked in my game over here.
Yeah, mine lasted about 10 minutes against Ian, and 8 of that was set up. So it was rough. So there we see. So Kevin's doing the Kurita play. He's losing tactical support from Force Pile to retrieve a trooper into hand. I mean, I guess so. You're just deploying a trooper at the docking bay to try and force action. Like, you're back on the 0 side, and okay. So
Yeah, I mean, light side, just gotta keep on dealing out that damage. Dark side's uh same mantra, you gotta try to get them down to that 7.
he
We see
gets
Earall coming down.
eye roll down, so he can get Ural and then move Dresselin over. Like, he'll block that drain of 2, but Johnny can just walk away from it. Like, Johnny will say, fine, you have that site. Like, I will have my other site while I'm still draining you for 2. And if you leave any sort of weakness, I'm going to take you out. And he still has to worry about things like sorry about the mess. Like, I would absolutely expect sorry about the mess from Johnny. And then who do you swing at? Like, if, I don't know. I think at this one, unless Kevin's got to move a 4th guy over. Because he's got Barrich, Dresselin, and Iral. I think you got to probably move Elsk as well. And then if Johnny's got a sorry, I think you sorry out Barrich, and then or he moves the cadet instead of Elsk. Or he moves the cadet. Yeah, he doesn't move Elsk over. He moves the other Death Star Trooper with eye roll, so he gets the. So he adds one to the total battle destiny for the other Death Star Trooper, but he doesn't actually draw a battle destiny there yet. And still probably won't, unless he moves one of the other guys from the prefect's office, and then he won't get a battle destiny there. All right, Kevin just picks a couple up. So now Johnny's got to decide. He's got 8 cards in hand and 16 cards down. He can certainly pay 6 to drain for 2. And there we see Bith shuffle to shuffle the used pile, which is really just a Johnny
Get
wants
a
to know
5
where that
back in
5
there.
is.
Yeah.
So that tells me Johnny's planning to battle somewhere and counting on that 5 to hit. So interestingly enough, Kevin only has 2 cards in reserve deck, which means if Johnny battles, Barrich doesn't do anything because Johnny will lose. He'll draw those 2 for battle destiny, and then he can't subtract with Barrich. But Johnny activates all but 1 anyways. So he activates down to the 5, tunnel visions for a card. I'm wondering if we're going to see somebody at the spaceport street that draws battle destiny, and then just move Luke and Leia to join them. Twaska, Bronburs, Melas, somebody like that. Because Kevin doesn't get a battle destiny there. And Johnny playing Grimtash lost. And we see Barrier, Fett and Slave 1, Projective, Officer Evax, Hoth, Wampa Cave, Sergeant Narthax, and Trooper Assault. So he didn't get anything with that barrier or with that Grimtash, and he knows there's a barrier there. So he did that before he drained or before he played to drain, so he knew what he could do with it. And Johnny says, okay, well, I'll activate that last force because a barrier means he's not going to get to start a battle. Honestly, I don't know that I would even hate just or Marco at the spaceport street and say, come get some. And there we see the projective telepathy to reduce the drain or stop unless Johnny uses 2, and Johnny's got to figure out some math now. Basically, does he pay? So he's going to pay 2 to get the drain through. And yet, Kevin loses the 7th marker from hand. That's a reasonable loss. That barrier was big. Kevin having that barrier, I think, stopped Johnny from starting a battle somewhere. And between the Narthax plus Trooper Assault, you can't really just drop somebody in front of those guys. I think you've got to, honestly, yeah, I think you pay 3 to drain for 1 at the docking bay, and then I think you move Luke and Leia over. And there goes the Fett and Slave 1 from hand. And what else does Kevin have to lose? So Johnny's got 16 cards down plus 6 in hand. So he's got 22 force, but again, he needs to win by 8. And Kevin is down to 9 cards total. He's got 5 down plus 4 in hand. But Johnny's only doing a couple force a turn. And Kevin's doing a little bit more than that. So this could end up being very, very close. I don't think you can move Obi-Wan over to the docking bay. I think that docking bay is scary and you have to walk away from it because there's no reason to walk into the Trooper Assault. Yep, so there's Thennesby going down to Spaceport Street. Because Boba Fett and Slave One disappeared, we know you don't need to worry about space. He can't come to you in space anymore. So all he could do would be to move Ozzel over, but shuttling down Thennesby gives him the extra forfeit fodder there if Kevin tries to do something, and it allows him in reverse to, like, if Kevin doesn't deploy anybody, just does his moving stuff. Now you've got him as forfeit fodder to start a battle because there are no weapons. So, like, Kevin, I don't think Kevin can start that battle. I mean, I guess maybe you activate 4, you put down, or activate 2, so you leave 1 in reserve, put down Narthex. I mean, you end up losing 2 of your 3 guys at least. So let's see what he does here, as Johnny's got 15 down and 7 in hand. So he's got 22 force to Kevin's 9. But again, Kevin's currently draining for free and Johnny's not. And that's going to start to add up. So, and Kevin can't do a ton because he's got to save the barrier or risk some sort of a drop and beatdown play that's going to happen. So Kevin's just thinking about what to activate. Like, there's not a good answer, and unfortunately this is where really the not having a 4th site could come back to haunt him. Like, he just needs more damage. Like, if he'd have had a 4th site and got some more damage through, this would have been very big. I understand keeping all the spaceport streets so you can activate and keep everybody together, but that's, I don't know. This will be interesting to see where this goes. So, because yeah, Kevin hasn't even started activating yet. He's really still, they've both got a lot of time on the clock, and yeah, Kevin said, "Hey, I'm doing math," and Johnny says, "Take your time," which makes sense, although he does need to consider there is, I believe, a 5-minute action timer. So don't think too long or you're going to lose that way. So that's Johnny and Kevin having some fun in chat, just making math jokes. So it's, I don't actually know how an abacus works, so I don't know how only using the top half would do things there. So it's, I will say Kevin's doing a lot of typing in chat that isn't necessarily speeding up his math. So I enjoy interacting in chat, obviously. I enjoy interacting with folks, and we've got 18 viewers right now and we're 2 hours into this game or this match. And we may still have another 10, 12 minutes left depending on how this goes. There's just not going to be a lot of, I don't think Kevin can do a lot of interacting. I think the question is going to be, can he survive long enough to get Johnny below 15 or below 8? And I'm just not sure he can. Like, anybody else he deploys is effectively a lost force. So I'm not sure he can really deploy anyone else. And I think he's got to just drain for 3 and keep moving his guys around and try and catch Johnny at a point where he can't. I don't know if he can get there. So we lose 1, drains for 1 at Kurita. We see Johnny lose the Cloud City docking bay. So he did have the Cloud City docking bay to set up the off the edge. And there it goes, launching the assault. Losing the launching surprises me a little bit because I'm not sure I wouldn't have just put that down and started draining for 2 unless his launching only drains at a battleground. Oh, force drains +1 at a battleground. That's right. So, and Kevin uses Kurita, so he's losing a force to retrieve a trooper into hand. That tells me he's planning to attack somebody. I don't know who, and I'm not sure how much it helps him. He loses evacs from hand to retrieve a trooper. Yeah, Sergeant Whalen. Okay, so he is going to go after somebody. Now, is he going after at the docking bay or is at docking bay 94 or is he going? All right, so he's going to Spaceport Street. There's Narthax. And that means it's a battle. Retrieve one, withdraw their fire. So he retrieves the evacs and Johnny loses one. And Johnny loses a, what are you trying to push on us from hand? Because they didn't have the force saved. And there's Whalen. And now we see the Trooper Assault to make them power 19. And that's all good. But you're going to lose, well, you're going to lose two of them to the shots. And Johnny's got to decide who he wants to kill. So he's taking out Grenwick first, just the gimme shot with Leia. So Grenwick is hit and forfeit 0. And then I think probably Whalen's the next highest forfeit. He's the highest forfeit guy. And you're going to swing at somebody with Luke. Oh, Luke's going at Narthex. Okay. I think they're actually the same. And there's a 1, which is not ideal, but he just needs a not 1. And a 3, so that's enough. So Narthax is dead as well. So now it's just how much is Johnny going to lose with the Nesby to keep this together. And there we see the 3 for Battle Destiny, which I believe is a 4 with Torrent. Yep. So it's 23. And Johnny draws a 5. So Johnny's down 8. Do you lose Leia in 2? Or Thenesby in 3? And threaten? I don't think you can start another battle. All right, so there goes Thenesby. And Kevin loses another trooper. So now the thing you have here, though, is Kevin's down to 8 cards total. And Johnny lost Hashin. And then what? Oh, is Hashin? Oh, no. So he lost 3. He lost the Signal, Hashin, and Obi with lightsaber. So he did lose Hashin in 3. So he could threaten Leia and Luke there. Because now you know Kevin doesn't have the Trooper Assault. He has a barrier, but that's it. So, and Johnny's got a 3 on the bottom. And we see Elsk move over. And I think you got to keep your guys alive now. But this is going to be really, really close. We see Elsk and Whalen and Barrich move over. So Johnny's not going to be starting a battle there.
Thanks for the stream, smiley face.
Thank you kindly for Prime subscription. That actually might be the first one of those that popped. So this is the perfect time to remind everyone that subscribing with Prime, if you have a Prime account, is the single easiest way to support the Players Committee. It costs you absolutely $0, and it does actually help support the Players Committee. It does put some money towards GEMP and everything else that does cost money to do. We see Torrent move over, so all right, Johnny activates it all. Yeah, I think we see Johnny's going to pay for 2. Honestly, I think Johnny pays for 2, and then I think maybe you move Leia and Luke over as Kevin loses 1 from hand. Like now I think if you do that, I can see move Luke to one site, move Leia to the other, and then I could even see Docking Bay Transit Obi come over and just, okay, we're going to take over Reltier. If you want a battle, you're going to lose guys. Because, like, Barrich and Elsk cover everything there right now. So, but that would also cut the drain damage down to 2, and Kevin could start a battle for the draw their fire ping, but, like, I mean, I don't know. I think he'd have to, and that might be what Johnny's trying to figure out is, does he want to do that or not? Because Kevin can't start, Johnny's not starting a battle. He's got no way to use any force. And maybe he's thinking on, does he deploy a guy instead? And there we see a drain of 1 at the docking bay. And Kevin loses the heavy cruiser from his force pile. So Kevin is down to 6 cards total. Oh, order to engage. That is not what he wanted. Now, I think if you're Johnny, you move everybody to the spaceport docking bay and say thanks for playing. Because there's no way Kevin can start that battle. He will lose everybody. I mean, I think he'd have to start the battle and just order to engage will ping, and he'll lose everybody, and he'll get the draw their fire ping back, because I think you got to move Obi over as well. Yeah. Just because the 2 battle destiny was at least theoretically a problem. And Kevin can still get 1 more trooper back, but he's going to drain for 3, and Johnny might lose all 3 from hand. So this is going to get real close real quick. So Kevin activates 4.
Yeah, Johnny can only lose 4 more here, right?
Yeah. So Kevin activates 4, and now he loses 1 to get a guy back from Kurita. Or he drains for 1 first, never mind. And Johnny loses Han with Blaster from hand. So he did have the EPP Han. There went Braun Burrs off reserve. So Johnny's got 2 cards left. Because, yeah, Johnny's right now has more cards in Lost Pile. So he would not win on the Lost Pile compare. And Kevin's getting a card back. He is using Kurita, so he loses Zuckuss and Mist Hunter from Force Pile to go get a trooper. I think just to back up the docking bay, just to not get overflowed by too much. Because the cadet will forfeit all remaining attrition, but won't cover battle damage. So you start that battle there to avoid the ping from order to engage and get the draw their fire ping and swing. But in all likelihood, all 3 of your troopers are getting hit. And you're going to have to, your battle destiny, you're down 8 power right now. So you got to hope your second battle destiny is real good. And he got Corporal Grenwick into hand. I don't even know who Grenwick. Oh, Grenwick's the Death Star. He just drops for 1. He got a super cheap guy who drops for 1, so he can pay to battle. And Grenwick forfeits for 4. So now you're getting closer on your total. The difference in battle destiny. So since you'll be down, you're down 4 at that point. Well, actually, Grenwick will get hit. The cadet only forfeits for 1. This will be, the math on this is rough for Kevin. That order to engage was very big, because he's got to consider, does he have everybody stand in front of them, and can he get out of this without losing more than the 3 for order to engage? Like, I'm actually not sure I wouldn't have gone, and maybe we're going to say activate everything and then Grenwick to the docking bay 94 and try and move a guy to the, throw a guy at the executor docking bay or the other guy. Oh, there's the 4th Raltier site that took him forever to find, but will give him another drain, which would end up overtaking Johnny's. I I mean, Johnny can't afford another turn of drains. Johnny has 11 cards left, and he needs to win by 8. So if Kevin puts a guy down there, well, I don't know that the math
Kind of
works for
wild.
Kevin. If he puts a guy down there who loses to order to engage, if he battles with order to engage, he's gonna lose a ton of force. Because he's only drawing one battle destiny, and he's down 8, and everybody's going to be forfeit 0, or at best the cadet will forfeit for 1. Like, you're swinging both sabers at the biker scout guys. So, like, I guess you'll retrieve 1 with draw their fire. This is not looking good, and you have to consider that if you do the spread and you try and go with the I'm going to have 1 card left and just survive the drain, if Johnny's got a Tuaska, 9 force is exactly what he needs. It's activate, pay 3 to drain, and 3 to deploy Tuaska, battle for free, draw their fire, ping you out. So and I think Kevin's just trying to figure out the math on that and if he can get there, because that order to engage 3 is going to be, yeah, he gave up the 3 to order to engage, and that's going to be about it. So, oh, he moved Vader's shuttle over to block the drain at Raltier. I don't know what else you can do here. Oh, he gets the flip back. Okay. I still don't know what your plan is. You've got to move. So you got the flip. Now he moves everybody away. You can't. Then you get drained for, well, you get drained for 1 and then draw their fire kills you. Moving back to Raltier was not the right play. Like, there was not a good line there for him no matter what. That order to engage was absolutely huge. But yeah, now he's done. If you move everybody away, you get drained for 1 and then draw their fire out. And if you move everybody there, you just go, all right, I'll battle in space, ping 1, then I'll battle on the ground and ping 1. And you don't care what happens after that. Yeah, Johnny's gonna take this. There's no line for Kevin. This was a fantastically played game by both players. Honestly, fantastically played match. And Kevin is not dead in this tournament because it is double elimination. He will be moving to the loser's bracket to face somebody. I don't have the bracket up right now, and I think Kevin just said, oh, draw their fire. Like, he just realized he's dead to draw their fire. And that'll be it. Like, yeah, he needed... Johnny just says, yeah. Like, he needed to start the battle with the order to engage and hope, but that was going to be a terrible battle in all likelihood. And the forest being in his reserve deck was a big problem. Him not getting that out earlier was unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, and Johnny's saying if you'd had double 5s, it would have at least been interesting, because then a battle, you're probably not taking a lot of overflow and you kill 2 guys, but like, it would have been rough. Now Kevin's just moving guys around, and I'm not sure. It's all over but the crying at this point. Yeah, he moves everybody to the docking bay, and it doesn't matter and he draws 1 to boot. So yeah, Johnny's going to win this game and the match, and that's all that matters. So, oh, he drops Melas as well. Yep. So he did have a couple guys to be able to go battle, get the extra draw their fire. So Johnny says, I don't even want to go out in any other way that works. Oh, so Kevin loses the card from hand, but now he's going to lose. Well, he might not get overflowed. A 4, so it's a 6. Yeah, Averick will cover. But then Johnny just battles somewhere else with the Draw Their Fire, and that's it. So, and the Melas was, I think Johnny's been sitting on him for a little while just to make sure he got rid of the barrier, and there went the retrieval. And, yep, so Johnny Chu wins. Johnny Chu advances. He will play Timo for the first round of the championship, and then the losers bracket will move forward and go from there. But I'm gonna let
Congratulations to Johnny and Timu, the 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 seeds, 2 and 3 seeds, I
I
think.
believe so. Yeah, I think Pat Johnson went in as the 1 seed, and
Horby, Joe Horby.
oh,
was
Joe
the,
Horby was the
was
1
the
seed.
one.
Okay, I know I
Yeah.
faced Joe. It's like that was awesome. But I will let you get back to your game. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna go eat a very late dinner real quick
Thanks for
here,
having me,
and
Garrett.
congrats to Johnny Chu for advancing to almost the finals to face Timo Dussel. Thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great night. May the force be with you.